guys, welcome to yet another episode of my Let's Play with the full version of the crew. And in this episode we're going to be customizing the Street Spec Hummer, the Hummer into Street Spec. And this is a pretty interesting car. This is actually a car that's been introduced in the new patch, which was quite recently. It was last week, I believe. But by the time you're getting this video, it was actually about a week since the patch has been released, and I was a little delayed with the video, and I apologize for that. But I was kind of busy with stuff, so yeah. And looking at the front bumpers of this car, there's actually quite a few interesting options available for this thing. But I'd go with this one because I don't know, it just looks cool, and it's got a bunch of lights onto it, which just makes it look just a bit more interesting. Rear bumpers. There's a couple of interesting rear bumpers, and you can actually put a spare tire thing on the back, which is quite interesting. And so, yeah. And that's that. It's pretty interesting, but that looks cool as well. It's a stock looking bumper, but I decided not to go with it. Decided to keep the one that came with it when I got the kit. Excuse me. And also I skipped over the fenders because I thought there was actually nothing in there, but you can actually change the rear fender on this truck. And I don't actually show it, but you guys can look it up. If you decide to buy this thing, then you can get it. Because overall, this car actually looks pretty cool. You could make it look like a Hummer, a big Hummer. I believe it was. There's the special Hummer. I forgot what his name was. Doig something, Doig Muyuno or whatever. He has a Hummer that looks pretty much like that. It's got that little back portion onto it, and it's got the little bull bar thing at the front as well. So my friend High Train thought it'd be a brilliant idea to make his yellow and have the body kits like that. The stock front bumper on the Hummer, the little tire thing on the back for the Hummer. And overall it looks pretty much exactly like Doug's. Yeah. Doug Muno, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but whatever, you guys get the point. It looks like his Hummer at this point. And rims, I actually do change the rims later on to those rims, number 6. At first I thought they didn't really look right, but then later on I actually put them on. That's what it has right now. I decided not to change them and just leave them as they are with the H1 style rims. I don't know, I thought those rims look kind of good as well, but I like the dark ones with the little bolts that are shown. And of course I actually just skipped the process of me looking for rims, and I'm just looking at the paints. There's the chrome paints, brand new chrome paints. They look pretty cool. It's kind of like a gold color, and there's the matte paints. I decided to go with a matte beige because it looks like a Humvee. Well, not right now, at least. I mean, when you put that don't change the rear wing, quote unquote. Don't change the rear wing, then you will actually make it look like a Humvee. Pretty cool, and there we are, customizing it. And this car is pretty interesting. This truck, I don't even know if you could consider calling it a truck, because, yeah. But yeah, this thing is actually quite interesting. It weighs 7,014 pounds when you have a level 1 weight reduction onto it in Street Spec. And it has, when you max it out, it actually has 985 brake horsepower, which is a lot for a Street Spec car. But they kind of made that an exception because this thing is heavy and is huge. So yeah, it doesn't have very good acceleration. And with weight reduction, it's under 6,000 pounds. But it's still a heavy freaking thing. Looks freaking insane. And so yeah, just checking to see what I can change. But yeah, I guess that's it. This thing's pretty beast. So yeah, there we go. Leaving the street customization shop thing, and it looks pretty cool. I do like it. It looks pretty nice. Of course, I would probably change the front bumper to something else, but I like the front bumper. The front hood, I meant. Change the front hood to something else, but it looks pretty good overall right now. And there you go. There's the Humvee style rear. I forgot to do the rims, but I'll get back to those. I just wanted to put the camo design onto this thing, and there we go. So yeah, now let's just change the rims to the official rims. Actually went with those. Actually, I didn't go. Those are the stock Hummer H1 rims that my Hummer came with when I got it back then. But yeah, overall it's kind of cool. This Hummer, it's big, it's kind of sluggish, but that's to be expected for such a big car. But Overall, it's not that bad. In fact, it's not actually that sluggish when you think about it. You can actually set some pretty fast lap times in single player if you use this thing. It's got a lot of torque, it's got a lot of power, it's got good acceleration, and it's got good grip because it's a heavy car. It's not too twitchy, but keep in mind you have to drive this thing in hardcore in order for this to actually have a turning radius. Because in full assistance, it pretty much doesn't have a turning radius at all. And the RPMs go to 6,000, which is 1,000 more than it actually is in the interior. But overall, I like this thing. This thing's cool. Very much like the Humvee. And yeah, I like it a lot. Interior, of course, just checking that out. Pretty nice. And now we're doing the score. I decided this would be appropriate for this car to do a smash. I forgot what the story mission style was with this thing, but it's a collect mission. It's a collect style faction mission. I decided it would be appropriate for this truck because it's big, heavy, and it's kind of what you would expect this thing to be doing. You expect this thing to be going around and breaking stuff. And I didn't really want to do slaloming with this thing because of course it doesn't handle quite as well as some of the other cars, but it's good nonetheless. As you can see, it really takes a lot of punishment. I mean, the bumpers are falling off, yes, but that's an effect of this game. It's pretty strong overall. It doesn't really get phased much by heavy things. And as you can see, it actually corners very well. I'm driving this in sport mode right now, and it understeers a little bit because of its all-wheel drive, but once you put it into sport, and once you put it into sport, the turning radius becomes a lot better. But for the best results, I recommend hardcore. Because, of course, it's all-wheel drive, and you're going to have enough grip to not spin out. And you'll be able to actually turn with this thing, and be competitive with this thing. This thing's OP, by the way, just so you mentioned. And they still haven't patched it out. Because I'm pretty sure the intent was not to have 900 brake horsepower on such a big, heavy thing, but they did that anyway. And it's got 950 foot-pounds of torque, by the way. That's a lot of torque for a street spec car. But like I said, it's heavy, it's big, it's kind of... It won't have very good acceleration if you just put, like, let's say 500 horsepower. Is this thing. It just won't accelerate otherwise. But as you can see, using NOS, it just accelerates like a freaking mofo. But I do have the perk that allows me to get more powerful nitrous. More acceleration from the nitrous. Which is good, I guess. And this traffic car, by the way, got in the way. He got in the way of that one package thing. I could have gotten it if that traffic wasn't there. And of course, it goes through the little package things, whatever you call them. In fact, I didn't actually have to brake there. I could have just did a little bit of slaloming, and that I just noticed that orange container thing actually bounced around a little. Overall, I like this car a lot. It's actually my favorite car from this update. Of course, my favorite car from the I forgot which update it was, but when they released a lot of circuit spec cars into the game, my favorite car has to be the BMW Z4. I mean, it just looks cool overall. I mean, the Z4 is cool. It's got a big wing on the back because, yeah, it's cool. But the Gallardo, actually Z4 is my second favorite car. Gallardo is really nice. So yeah, from that update. And there's a box on my roof now. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, give the video a like and stuff, and I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye.
Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true.